Shalom. I want to first start off giving all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakakwadash. Double honors unto our apostles as well as the men that taught them, the elder high priest, as well as the elder bishops and the elders at Great Millstone. Peace and blessings unto the 144,000 and the rest of the elect of the nation of Israel. This is the brother Abadia from the GMS Houston camp. Okay, and I have a couple of scriptures to go into. All right, and Lord willing, this video is edifying. All right, so as we see, if you're paying attention, which we're supposed to be, the people that don't have this truth, are really crashing out. Some of them are crashing out and don't know that they're crashing out. Okay, people are having meltdowns. In other words, they're losing it. They can't see a productive, healthy future in front of them. Okay, the spirit of uncertainty is overwhelming these people. All right, and that goes for the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and the other nations as well. The so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans who are the Israelites, according to the Bible. Okay, and that's who I really want to focus on concerning what I just said. Yeah, the other nations are in the same mindset. They don't know what's gonna happen. Okay, they don't know. A lot of them don't know if they're gonna be able to maintain the type of life that they've been living, or they having a downsize. Families are merging. All right, people are losing their house. People are losing their cars. People are struggling paycheck to paycheck. Relationships are failing. Sickness is running rampant. All right. And all the while, this kingdom is falling, and that's really what's, bringing this about. The instability, all right, the low morale here in America. Let's see, nobody's motivated because everybody's mourning for one reason or another. If you're not mourning about a financial woe, which most people are, okay, even the rich, they're complaining. If it's not that, it could be the relationship. Your relationship, most likely, if you're here in America, your relationship, you're having big time trouble with it, especially if you're a man. Okay, or maybe both. You may have trouble with your children because of this sick society that exists. Or your health. People are sick. This is the sickest place in the world, meaning health-wise. And morally, too. You got the suicide hotlines probably jammed up. You got the abominable acronym community. That energy is being pushed, and a lot of them are offing themselves. And good. Okay? So while the rest of the world is losing it, and like I said, I'm really going to focus on Jake. Jake is bugged the fuck out. So-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. They don't know what's going on. They losing in every category. Okay? And they can't see the future. Some of them think they, they hoping and wishing, but things don't look good. Now I want to bring this verse out. It don't look good for Israelites, and definitely and not the other nations either. Especially over here in Babylon the Great. This is Ecclesiastes 12:1. It says, "Remember now thy creator in the day that I youth," which Jake don't want to do that. You know, they trust in oppression, as the scriptures say. Okay, you're not supposed to trust in oppression, but Jake is trusting in oppression. This man is doing nothing but oppressing and done nothing but oppressor since we been over here, since they came over here and effed over the so-called Latino or Hispanic tribes, so-called Native American Indians and Seminole Indians. Okay? And Jake believes somehow, some way, the one that's oppressing the shit out of you, can solve your problems, can create a world or a system to fix it. And it's nothing's worked thus far. Okay? And we out on the highways and byways, we do these lessons. And as it is written, Jake is not gonna wake up. Okay? They're not gonna wake up to this truth. So they're gonna stay in this illusion of a world, okay, that Esau is set up before them. And that world is failing them. Because this world is a very destructive world, a society. Okay? It's very toxic. Okay, it hinders, it stunts growth, productivity, being a benefit versus or should I say, this place putting you at a disadvantage instead of being a benefit onto you. Okay, this place is destroying this world. If you do things as Esau told us we should do, live life, it destroys you. That's why Micah 2:10 says, "Arise ye and depart, okay, for it shall destroy you, even with the sword destruction." I'm roughly paraphrasing. And that's exactly what's happened. And there's no, building up and making right the destruction that exists, that's happening. Okay? Because ultimately this is all according to prophecy. For this man to fall, and for the people that believe in this man to fall with it. So let's go back and read. It says, back in verse 1, it says, "While the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh." And we in that time. The evil days are here. We're in the beginning of sorrows. It says, "When thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them, while the sun or the light or the moon or the stars be not darkened, nor the clouds return after the rain." Okay? So in other words, get this knowledge of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, which is found in the scriptures, which Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai has set up pastors according to his heart to feed us with knowledge and understanding. This is Jeremiah 3:15. Okay, but it's gonna come a point in time you're not gonna be able to get this information. Okay, this understanding that's contained in the scriptures. It says, "In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves." And we see a glimpse of the military. The military don't want to fight. The American military are a bunch of scary cats. Okay? They fear getting shipped overseas to the war. And when they get over there in the midst of the shit, they curling up. They bitching up. And you got women in the military. You know they don't want no parts of that. No parts of a war. Okay? It says, and the grinders cease because there are few. Yep, these jobs are leaving, meaning people are being laid off. Right? And even if you do have a job, the pay probably isn't that great, especially due to this inflation and the cost of living even rising more due to this, Strait of Hormuz closure that happened, and that's happening. It says, and those that look out of the windows be darkened. Yes, these people that are looking out of the into the future, even a near future, it's not a bright future. It's dark. People like, damn, I don't know how I'm gonna get through the rest of the year like this. I don't know how I'm gonna sustain paying rent at at this rate. I don't know if I'm gonna be homeless in so many months. Now that's another thing. You got people, especially these damn women that are homeless. They're living in cars. They're living in hotels. They're living in storages. They're living in from house to house or wherever they could rest their head at. It's bad out here, and they don't know. They don't in this system, which is the so-called white man system, is not giving them any confidence that things are gonna get better. It's not giving them any certainty. It's not giving them light, showing them light at the end of the tunnel, because there is no light at the end of this tunnel. This place is headed for destruction, and nothing but destruction. Now, on the contrast, those of us that have this knowledge and understanding, things are looking good. Things are looking bright. Things are looking certain. We have confidence because the prophecies are being fulfilled, and we see the last prophecies that have to be fulfilled knocking at the door. Okay? To be fulfilled. Which leads me to the next verse that I'm gonna bring out, and this is in the book of Proverbs, chapter 4. Was that 18? Yes. In verse 18, it says, "But the path of the just is as the shining light." Yep. Because the path of the just. Let's deal with the just first. The just are those that believe in Yahweh Shai, Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai. And the way you believe in Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai is by believing in this whole book with the proper understanding. All right, it's initiated through the preaching of this gospel. That's how the just, the ones that are just are the ones that are justified through the blood of Yahweh Shai. That's the elect. And we hope to be of the elect. It says, justified is righteous before the Most High. It all happens through our faith in these scriptures. Okay? It says, but the path of the just is as the shining light that shineth more and more unto the perfect day. The perfect day is when the kingdom comes. When the kingdom is established on this planet Earth, which is the Israelites, starting with our Lord Yahweh Shai, then King David on down, ruling, on down through the rest of the 144,000, and all of the rest of Israel. And 2/3 are gonna have to come back in the kingdom. 2/3 of the nation, they're gonna die on this side. Okay. That's the perfect day is when we're ruling this planet in righteousness, and the nations are receiving their judgment, especially the nation of Edom. Okay. So things look bright for us because we see this place falling and we see the kingdom is about to come. And it's starting with us, that have this knowledge being built up and really preparing to rule. Okay? But before we can do that, this place has to go down in a horrible manner. And we understand that it has to happen. So we're not shaking as, oh, what's going on? We don't know what the fuck is going on. No, we know. Okay? Everything is playing out beautifully. Yeah, it's a rocky, rough road we gotta travel to get to the kingdom. But that's the only way. There's no other way to get to the kingdom but through trials and tribulation. Okay? So, that's pretty much the lesson. I just want to put that out there, The ones of us that hope to be of the elect, we have clear minds. We see what's going on. We're certain. We're confident. Okay? We're not crashing out and bugging out about the state of this society. Okay? The state of the world. And on the other hand, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans that hadn't awakened to this truth. You don't know what the hell is going on. And some of you still in the fucking bubble, just as blind as you can fucking be. There's a lot of the Israelites still out there. They just bullshitting. They don't know what's going on, and they act like tomorrow's gonna be a better day. I'm in the video right there. Lord willing, this video was edifying. And until the next one, I say shalom.